y'all. I'm Lara Luna, and this is episode 10 of Trailer Park Angel. This time, we start with a siren howling into the park at 5 a.m. like it was late for donuts. I didn't even sit up, just figured it was the usual around here. Ambulances roll in the park more times than Amazon trucks. That's life in heaven's waiting room. Could be a heart flutter, a panic spell, or somebody tripping over their chihuahua and landing in the canal again. I just thought it was a typical Tuesday. After my breakfast and a relaxing morning of Tai Chi, I stepped outside to start pulling the weeds in my garden. That's when I spotted Miss Judy and Mr. John, our new neighbors, walking down the street. And I thought, well, isn't that nice? They're starting to walk and get healthy. It's always a great thing to see happy couples together having a good time. Come to find out, they weren't exercising. They were snooping. Miss Judy looked like she just seen someone stealing a bird bath, and Mr. John was twitching like a squirrel in a bounce house full of kids. I waved trying to be friendly, and right then, Mr. John stopped cold, gave me a weird look, and screamed, "Effin' polyester! Effin' polyester! Effin' polyester!" Oh, good Lord Almighty, he's having a fit again. It's another episode of Pasco County Parrot Syndrome, even louder than the last time. 3 people came out of their trailers to see what was going on now. Miss Judy grabbed his arm and said, "Not now, John." The neighbors who were outside just froze. Someone muttered, "Why is he screaming about fabric?" And me, I scribbled in my notebook, if Clark Kent saw this, he'd drop his glasses and run. A little further down the block at Miss Esmeralda's house, I saw a group of neighbors gathered at her lanai. Miss Tammy was there, and she looked horrified. Mr. Earl was still in his slippers trying to comfort her. Needless to say, I had to stop my gardening and head down there. Y'all, I'm starting to feel like Lois Lane. My mom always said I was a pushy reporter who knew too much. By the time I got to Miss Esma's house, most folks had gone, except Miss Millie, who came to drop off a pecan pie and some bananas. And you'll find out in my book what bananas really mean in this park. That's coming out next week on Amazon, September 1st. Miss Millie saw me with my notebook, like I was on a Daily Planet assignment. She dropped off the goodies and left, so I could get the scoop. Miss Esma invited me in for coffee. Just as I sat down, her oven timer went off and we both looked up. 5:55 on the clock. 555 is an angel number, and it means big change, truth revealed, and freedom from lies. Funny how that popped up when she was about to spill the beans. She said a knock came at her door around 4:22 a.m. She was scared, but felt protected by her angels, so she opened the trailer door. And there stood a man with a mask on. She said it looked like a banana mask. Then he opened his coat and flashed her his private belongings and yelled in Spanish 3 times, "Plátanos, plátanos, plátanos." She slammed the door in his face, locked it, and called 911. The police told her other reports just started coming in about the same thing over at the Last Lap Lagoon. I took all the notes I could and went back home. Nothing else happened that day. I relaxed into a hot cinnamon tea with honey and started to study Miss Esma's details. Right before I put my notebook away, I had a funny feeling. Something just didn't feel right here. the very next morning, same sirens, another knock at 422. This time it was the angel lady, the one that lives 2 houses down with wings on her door. I, of course, went to see her to find out what happened. She said there was a knock, but she didn't open the door. Saw a man through the peephole. Same banana mask. Same yelling. Platanos, platanos, platanos. I went back home, kicked off my sandals to wash off the poisonous frogs and grasshopper guts. And when I flipped one over, there was a Chiquita banana sticker stuck to the sole. And then I remembered, the day after Judy and John moved in, I'd found one stuck to a mirror, so I started to think. Their U-Haul was stacked wall to wall with polyester. They said they were opening a polyester museum. Their son Bill bragged about an antique booth at the flea market, but when folks asked where they were from, they dodged the question, faster than a snowbird dodges HOA dues. Something didn't add up. That night at the Oasis, we met at Miss Dottie's lanai at 4:22 p.m. for our usual wine, snacks, and gossip. We had fried chicken, church bread pudding, shrimp on a stick, prayer candles, and a case of boxed wine. I started my journal and titled it, The Justice League of Cuckoo Acres. I played Lois Lane in flip-flops. Savannah was Wonder Woman, 3 glasses in. Miss Dottie was squinting like Batman with bifocals. Miss Tammy? Lord, she's like the Penguin if he traded Gotham for Publix. Sneaky, overdressed, and bossing folks around by the rotisserie chickens. Miss Ginger said, I always knew fruit was the devil's candy. What? Miss Dottie said if he flashes me, I'm flashing him my AR-15. And Savannah, giggling into her glass, well shoot, how come he never came to my house? I would have let him in. So here we are, wine night turned sleepover. Dottie's got backup batteries in her heating pad. Savannah's claiming the recliner. And someone already spiked the chamomile tea. This ain't just a girls' night. This is geriatric Gotham. At 4 a.m., Dottie kicked my foot. Get up! There's a man in a long coat walking toward Miss Millie's house. We all got up, put on our slippers, and piled into the golf cart, bouncing across the grass, pajama-clad superheroes. There he was, wearing that banana mask, coat swishing, something shiny in his hand. My heart jumped. Well, butter my biscuits, it was him. The banana flasher, plain as day. Savannah yelled, "Oh, it's Bill, y'all!" We all just stopped and got silent. Savannah said, "Why does this always happen to me? First an Army Ranger who can't speak English. Now some weirdo from Cali with a polyester banana fetish." Miss Dottie started yelling at him. "Hold up, Bill. We know it's you. Marine in action. I got my AR-15 aimed right at your ass." And y'all, that boy took off like a greased pig, jumped the canal and didn't look back. He dropped his banana mask right at Miss Millie's door. Miss Millie opened it, smiled, and said, "Well, aren't I lucky? Somebody left me bananas. That's just sweet as pie." Bless her heart. She had no idea what was going on, and we weren't gonna tell her. That night, the incident was reported to the police and the HOA. The community called a meeting the very next day. It was a packed house. Everyone wanted to know who the notorious banana flasher was and what we had seen. Mr. John stood up shaking. Miss Judy clutched his arm. She spoke first. "We want to say how sorry we are that this event has taken place here. We were kicked out of 3 parks before this one because of our son Bill. Years ago, he used to flash people in a flamingo suit, which is why Mr. John all of a sudden stands up and starts yelling, "Effing flamingos! Effing flamingos! Effing flamingos!" She calmed him down and continued, "The park gossip ruined us. John developed a condition called flamingo Tourette's. That's why you heard him shout." John snapped again, "Effing bananas! Effing bananas! Effing bananas!" Judy patted his hand and kept talking. "We filled our truck with polyester to remind Bill of better days. We lied about the museum, about the antiques. Truth is, it was a cover. Bill went to Miami for school, came back flashing strangers and speaking Spanish. He worked for Chiquita Bananas, dated a girl tied to the cartel. That's where the stickers came from. He's obsessive." John erupted again. "Effing Miami! Effing Miami! Effing Miami!" The room half gasped, half laughed. Miss Millie whispered, "Well, at least it ain't flamingos this time." And y'all, that's why 555 kept showing up. Angel number 555 means big change, truth revealed, lies exposed. The sirens, the 422 knocks, the 555 time on the clock, all breadcrumbs leading us here. And if I think about the time being 422, that's also an angel number, which we'll get into in the next episode. Later at Dottie's, we toasted to the truth. Miss Tammy said, "Think they'll move again?" I added, "Nope, I'm not reporting him. Honestly, they fit right in with us." Miss Ginger shouted, "Ain't that the truth? Every circus needs a clown." I said, "Well, if that's true, we have about 150 clowns." Savannah, tipsy as ever, "Well, shoot, I'd have let him in. He can stay with me." "Oh boy, isn't he lucky," Miss Dottie said under her breath. So yeah, heaven's waiting room stays weird. Lois Lane with her notebook cracked another one. Superman still hasn't made his way to Cuckoo Acres. But with polyester villains, banana bandits, and HOA drama louder than a cape in a windstorm, who can blame him? Stay tuned for another low-budget episode at the trailer park of Flamingos and Bananas, and who knows what's next. Until Superman shows up, I'll keep taking notes and locking my screen door. Let me know if you liked the episode. Leave me a comment and hit the bell if you want to be notified of future gossip and unique stories from the pages of a Florida comic book, Swamp Style. Hey, thanks for listening, and thanks for your time. See y'all again real soon. Bye!